Hey you guys, how you doing? How you doing? Let me show y'all the belly so we can get right to the point here. Yes. Yes. There him goes. But subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who is pregnant and over 40. Or somebody who's just pregnant. I just like it because I'm pregnant and over 40. So what this video is about here is just really addressing the fact that home birth is natural. Home birth is natural. I wanted to just touch on so many people and their fears, okay? Fears. That's exactly what it is, because when I first decided that I was going to do a home birth, it was like I got all of these scary thoughts. Be careful. It is because my son is Breech. If you guys didn't know, he's Breech. So I think I'm going to title this Breech is Safe for a Home Birth. You can have a Breech baby at home. And it's like all of these different fears. I mean, I heard things from like the baby's bones are going to break, that, you know, his head can get trapped. But the thing about it is, you have to remember, now I'm no medical doctor, but if you look it up, all of those same things are possible. If you're giving a cephalic birth, which is a head first birth, the baby, you can hemorrhage. There's possibility of hemorrhage. The same thing with a breech birth. If you're giving a birth at a cephalic birth, the babies can get stuck in the canal. The same thing can happen with a breech birth. The baby can get stuck in the canal. Either way, breech births, you can do them. You can do a breech birth at home. It's not an impossible thing. Like the first mention of it, when I first found out my baby was breech at 36 weeks, I was like so sad. I was so sad. I thought that, yes, y'all need to go watch my last video, because I am really, like, I'm overwhelmed with all of the calls coming in, and they just keep calling. People just keep calling. They just keep calling over and over and over. It's like driving me insane. But anyway, breech births are possible at home, okay? And I'm gonna say it again. Please watch that video. Turn your phone on silent. Relax yourself. Allow yourself to go through the process, okay? You're not responsible for anybody but you and your baby. Nobody gotta know. You and that baby gotta know. For real. So anyway, even I'm going to talk the medical doctor, like the doctors going to the hospital and going to get your checkups and stuff. They really make it like, oh my God, a breech birth. Ooh, like literally my experience. So I go to the doctor. I found out the baby was breech, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I got some education from my friends. I talked to a midwife. Actually, I talked to a couple of midwives, and the idea of breech birthing, because I was afraid. Fear was leading me, and knowledge will squash fear every time. As soon as you educate yourself, you're no longer scared. So that's what I did. I began to educate myself on the process of breech birthing. What was the possibilities? Why do they do breech births? And why is it so, when you're in the hospital, they're like, no, it's like cliche. And then I come to find out that breech births don't happen in the hospital as often, as frequently, because doctors aren't necessarily trained in breech birthing. So you have to find you a trained midwife who's trained in breech birth. And it's such a natural process. It's no different than giving a cephalic birth, bro. Like literally, they make you so afraid because, and I don't know what is going on with this caesarean trend where they want to, like, oh, caesarean, because as soon as I found out I was breech, they wanted to schedule me for a version. They wanted me to have an epidural for the version. If the version didn't work, I was getting a cesarean. If the baby's heart rate dropped, I was getting a cesarean. It like all these different things. And then the cesarean was scheduled after the version. It was already scheduled. So all of those things, I felt so out of control that I began to start having fear myself. So at 37 weeks, I'm sitting there like, oh my God, they're about to do a version on me at 39 weeks, and I am scared out my mind to have my baby. If my water broke, they was going to give me a cesarean. So it's like everything ended cesarean. And I just was like, I don't know what to do. So I started talking to all of these different midwives and learning that you can have a breech birth. I looked at this website called Breech Without Borders. One of the midwives that I spoke with directed me to this website, taught me about all, and it teaches you about all the different things that you're able to, like the risk of breech birthing, and just the possibilities, what you should expect. They have videos of natural breech births where women are just giving birth to breech babies, and it's the same. It's the same. And I'm not claiming to be any type of medical doctor or anything like that, but what I'm here to say is, do not let people scare you in to doing something that you don't want to do with your own body. Don't be led by fear, because that's what happens. I was led by fear, and I was almost on the table getting a cesarean birth when I knew that that's not what I wanted. First of all, for the version, they wanted to give me an epidural. I did not want an epidural. I didn't want an epidural. I want a natural birth. I wanted to be in water. Second of all, if they told me if the baby's heart rate that dropped, they would have to do a C-section anyway, which meant, but the epidural, the medication crosses the placenta, so it causes the baby's heart rate to drop a little anyway. So I was like, okay, so that's going to end a cesarean. If my water broke when they tried to do the version, which is sometimes likely because they're trying to turn the baby, I was going to have a cesarean. Why? If my water breaks, why can't I do a natural breech birth? That was not an option for them. And I was so afraid that I didn't feel comfortable having my baby. I was scared to let him come out. And then I decided that I was going to do a home birth. And it was the most liberating thing. I'm definitely going to share my journey with my home birth with you guys on YouTube once everything's said and done. I'm going to show, I'm the whole process, because I'm an advocate for women who, your body, your choice. Literally, your body, your choice, your baby, your choice. And it's such a scary thing to hear all of these medical professionals tell you all of the dangers, but they don't give you anything positive about breech birthing, when breech birthing is a natural process. It's a natural process. And in order for you to find peace, educate yourself. Educate yourself. Get knowledge. Get smarter. You don't have to argue with the doctor. You don't have to tell them what you know, but you have to know something, because otherwise you're going to do what they tell you to do. That's just it, because you don't think that you're smart enough to figure it out, but you are. You are. Get you a midwife who understands breech birthing. Get you a midwife who you can talk. I mean, it cost me $60 to have a conversation with one of my midwife friends. I spent that $60 because I needed freedom. I needed to be able to make my own choices with my body, and you can too. So I just wanted to come and tell you guys my journey with the breech birthing, and hoping that I could help another mom just find peace, because it can be so scary. People just tell you so many different things about having a breech baby, and it's not uncommon. So if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I will do a video. I will answer the questions. I just think I am a big advocate for understanding your knowledge, understanding the questions that you have. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about the birth, how to go, what did I feel, and things like that. But if you're concerned and you're thinking about doing a home birth, send me a message. Put it in the comments. I look at my comments, and I will answer that question for you, because I remember what it felt like being scared to give birth. And I also know what it feels like to feel empowered, and to feel safe, and to feel so comforted in my choices. It really does. So again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video with somebody who's over 40, especially if someone you know is thinking of a home birth, or they have a breech baby and they're afraid, or if they've been breeched before and they want to do, if they had a cesarean before and they want to do home birth. Listen, just everything I know, I'll share with you guys. So thank you so much again. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys after the baby gets here. Bye-bye.